about eating disorder prevention, advocacy, or public policy? Do you want to help make your city, state, province, or country a place where people can learn to love their bodies? You're in the right place. Welcome to our webinar on the Stripe Advocacy Playbook. This playbook was launched by Stripe, the Strategic Training Initiative for the Prevention of Eating Disorders, based at the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health and Boston Children's Hospital. Our webinar was co-created by many people from Stripe and the Stripe Youth Corps, including Bryn, Director of Stripe, Julia Vitagliano, Amanda Raffoul, Deepa Manjanatha, and Marlena Skrabak. We're also joined by the Stripe Youth Corps, which today includes myself, Tasmia, along with Joanne, Stanley, and Kelsey. The Stripe Youth Corps is a group of youth advocates who work with the Stripe team to promote body confidence through policy change. The Stripe Advocacy Playbook uses tried and true strategies that make it easy for community champions like you to advocate for impactful policy changes that could help to prevent eating disorders and promote body confidence. The Playbook is a free online resource that can be used by anyone, whether they're a first-time advocate or an advocacy veteran. Before we dive deeper into the Playbook, we'd like to show you a brief video that introduces how to access the Playbook and all of its advocacy content.
Welcome to the Striped Advocacy Playbook. In this video tour, you'll see how to navigate through the Playbook to find the resources you need, from model policy and lawmaker meeting tips to step-by-step tools to help you plan your campaign for social change. We'll start by going to the Striped homepage at hsph.harvard.edu/striped. Here, you can find out about Striped, the Strategic Training Initiative for the Prevention of Eating Disorders, and lots of our other projects and resources. From here, we're going to click on Striped Advocacy Playbook on the left side navigation. Note that you can click on the arrow to expand or click the main link. I'll click the main link to take us to the Advocacy Playbook homepage. Here we are on the Striped Advocacy Playbook landing page. We've also made a shortcut for you to get here via tinyurl.com/stripedplaybook. From this page, you can also find links to learn more about our team, our funders, collaborating organizations, a welcome note from Stripe Director Dr. Bryn, and a quick introductory overview of Playbook contents. The Striped Advocacy Playbook has something for everyone, whether you are a community advocate, public health professional, or policymaker. We've tailored a version of the Playbook for what will be most useful for each of these audiences. If you're an advocate, for example, you'll click here. Here we are on the Advocates version of the Playbook. While you're here, we'd love for you to complete this brief embedded survey to tell us more about you and to stay in the loop about future Striped projects. Once you're done, you can click on the Playbook here. Now, we've arrived at the Advocates version of the Striped Advocacy Playbook. As you scroll down, you'll see links to resources, including our glossary of terms and our interactive map, where you can find data on the economic cost of eating disorders in your state. Very helpful information to have when you are meeting with your lawmakers. Back to the Playbook, we'll continue to scroll down and take a look at the Power Prism. The Power Prism, a fantastic resource from My Power People, provides step-by-step tools to create a campaign for change. The Power Prism is built on 6 power tools of advocacy that help us reach our policy goals. These 6 tools are research and data collection, coalition building and maintenance, fundraising and development, Grassroots and key contacts, media advocacy, and decision maker advocacy. You can learn more about these tools by clicking on the links within this page or in the left side navigation panel. You can also move from one tool to the next by clicking through at the bottom of each page. Here, for example, is the Research and Data Collection tool, where you can read about researching key decision makers, choosing a bill sponsor, and more. If I clicked here, I'd go on to the next tool, Coalition Building and Maintenance. Now, I'm going to use the panel on the left to navigate back to the Advocates homepage. Then, we'll scroll back down to the Striped Advocacy Campaigns. You can also get to those from the left navigation. Here you can see some of Stripe's campaigns, including banning the sale of over-the-counter diet pills and muscle-building supplements to children, putting an end to digital alteration of ad images, and banning discrimination based on body size. Click on each one to find resources like model legislation, fact sheets, and more. As you're exploring, remember that anytime you can get back to the homepage or elsewhere in the playbook by clicking on the left navigation panel. Enjoy exploring the Striped Advocacy Playbook, and we look forward to creating change with you.
As you saw in the video, the playbook features many legislative campaigns that can help to prevent eating disorders and promote body confidence. Although some of the materials in the playbook are catered to American audiences, these campaigns and their materials can be adapted by advocates, public health professionals, and policymakers to use in countries where citizen engagement is an integral part of governance. The advocacy campaigns in the Striped Advocacy Playbook aim to create healthier environments that promote body confidence in girls, boys, and people of all genders. Some of the campaigns are informed directly by Striped research, and some address social justice and body confidence issues we fully support and are led by others, such as the Crown Act, which was created by advocates to ban natural hairstyle discrimination. All of our advocacy campaigns in the playbook have helpful tools and guides that you can use to help you plan and manage your campaign for social change and health equity. We currently have 9 advocacy campaigns in which you can explore all of them by visiting the link or scanning the QR code provided on the screen. For this presentation, we'll go over 3 of our advocacy campaigns to give you a brief example of what types of campaign resources you can find in the Striped Advocacy Playbook. For many of our policy campaigns, we have a number of resources and materials, such as model legislation, policy briefs, fact sheets, and campaign talking points to help you bring each important advocacy effort to your community. One example is our campaign to ban the sale of over-the-counter diet pills and muscle-building supplements to minors. Dietary supplements sold for weight loss and muscle building are associated with serious health risks and side effects, including organ failure, heart attack, stroke, and even death. Some supplements are adulterated with illegal substances such as steroids, prescription pharmaceuticals, and heavy metals. Medical associations have strongly cautioned teens against ever using diet pills or muscle-building supplements. Many of these products are highly underregulated, and youth who may not be aware of their risks have access to these dangerous products. Any young person can go to their local grocery store, pharmacy, or go online to purchase these harmful products. Through our advocacy efforts, a number of U.S. states such as California, Massachusetts, and New York have already spearheaded efforts to protect minors from the dangers of dietary supplements sold for weight loss and muscle building. To access this campaign and the designated campaign resources, please use the QR code or visit the link on the screen. Our next campaign addresses digitally altered ads and steps your community can take to protect residents from the harmful health effects of unrealistic advertising images. This advocacy campaign aims to lessen the impact of digitally manipulated advertisements on the health and well-being of young people. Exposure to these unrealistic and unattainable beauty norms has profound negative effects on public health and a key risk factor for eating disorders. States in the U.S. have already spearheaded efforts to promote realistic advertising images. For example, in Massachusetts, a bill was introduced in the state legislature to incentivize businesses in Massachusetts to use realistic images in their advertisements by offering a tax credit to those who pledge to not digitally alter a model's skin shade, skin texture, including wrinkles, body size, or body shape in ads. For this advocacy campaign, we have a number of different resources you can check out to bring this advocacy measure to your community. Visit the link on the screen or use the QR code to check out these resources. Another one of our advocacy campaigns in the Striped Playbook that we'll briefly talk about is our campaign to ban body size discrimination, Weight stigma is widespread and results in discrimination from landlords, lenders, employers, and service providers. Size discrimination undermines public health efforts to promote healthy nutrition, physical activity, and positive body image by normalizing harmful body shaming tactics and falsely equating thin physical appearance with better health. Weight stigma is also a known risk factor for eating disorders in people of all sizes. The more a person takes negative messages about fat bodies to heart, the likelier they are to develop an eating disorder, regardless of how much that person weighs. Addressing weight stigma and discrimination through legislation is imperative. U.S. states like Massachusetts are already leading the charge on this important social justice matter. Please visit the link on the screen or use the QR code to find out more about this advocacy effort and ways in which you can bring this crucial campaign to your community.
Now that you've seen an overview of the playbook, you can use the Power Prism tool to launch and keep the momentum of your campaign going. The Power Prism was created by My Power People, and it is a step-by-step framework for recognizing and acting on opportunities to build energy and strength in an advocacy campaign. The Power Prism that is featured in the playbook can help you in launching and maintaining the momentum in your campaign. The 6 components of the Power Prism are 1. Research and data collection, 2. Coalition building and maintenance, 3. Fundraising and development, 4. Grassroots and key contacts, 5. Media advocacy, and 6. Decision maker advocacy. Now, let's go through all of them in detail with some help of the Striped Youth Corps.
Research and data collection are important steps to inform decision makers on issues surrounding eating disorders and body confidence. But you shouldn't worry about turning your key decision makers into experts on your issue. That's not required. All you need to do is build a case that appeals to them and their supporters. You'll need to do some research on the problem you want to solve, the process for solving that problem, what kinds of policies can address the problem, and what people you can reach out to for support. As a member of the Striped Youth Corps, I've helped with the process of research and data collection for an eating disorders advocacy campaign in my own state. Youth surveys are a great way to collect data on issues that matter to respondents. The Striped Advocacy Playbook includes detailed examples of questions you can ask youth in your region to assess how a policy change might impact them. For example, we created a survey hosted on a free internet platform and sent it out to our classmates, friends, and peers to assess how they feel about a policy that would regulate the sale of harmful weight loss supplements. The results of this survey will inform decision makers on the importance of legislation that bans the sale of these products to youth for people in the region. You can also turn to existing research. Striped has plenty of resources in the playbook related to a variety of advocacy campaigns, which you saw in the navigation video earlier in this webinar. There are also researchers and organizations that do work related to eating disorders, body image, and youth health in your country that you can reach out to. Having a strong coalition of members is a vital component of any campaign. Next, Stanley will guide you through the process of coalition building and maintenance.
You don't need a formal coalition to win an advocacy campaign, but it will add credibility if you can get a diverse group of organizations and individuals to endorse your policy proposal. Why? Because decision makers are influenced by coalitions. Coalitions make it easier for policymakers to satisfy many organizations at once rather than having to satisfy each of those organizations one by one. A powerful coalition is one that anticipates and answers the toughest questions about your policy proposal. A coalition should feature individuals or organizations representing a variety of sectors. They don't all need to be working in eating disorders prevention. They can also represent business, politics, public health, youth organizations, and any other related to your campaign. If you are leading the overall campaign, part of your job is not just to recruit these coalition partners, but to maintain some regular communication with them throughout these campaigns. That could be regular online meetings, but it can also be regular email updates, invitation to training webinars, lawmaker visits, and sharing relevant news and information. Many of these coalition partners you would want to engage will have other priorities, so try to make it easy for them to participate. Simplify their support, be inclusive, plan around everyone's schedule, shine together, and always share the credit. Thank you everyone for coming today, and I just wanted to thank Joanne for being able to talk about your ideas with legislative work, and Julia, I'm really grateful that you guys gave me the opportunity to help build a team here so that we can actually further advance our ideas and help make this world a much safer place.
All policy campaigns, whether they're large or small, require resources to get the job done. Even grassroots campaigns that are led by youth need resources to pay for things such as meeting spaces, refreshments for meetings and special events, stipends for youth or other experts, printing or fax machines and other materials, Facebook ads or polling, and transportation to the state capitol or city hall. It's important that you make a budget and don't be afraid to ask your supporters or fellow coalition members to donate to help cover your campaign costs. Look at the funders of organizations that help prevent and treat eating disorders and ask them to support your advocacy efforts. Invite clinicians, support groups, survivors, and their loved ones to pitch in to change policy and save lives. Not sure what goes into a campaign budget? We can help with that. The Stride Advocacy Playbook includes materials that can assist you in your financial planning, including budget templates and worksheets for identifying key influencers in your campaign. Another key component of any campaign is your grassroots and key contacts. Every elected and appointed official is responsible for representing the people in their district, state, or country. Since these public servants are supposed to help the government work for us and with us, elected officials are especially interested in appealing to people who live in the district they represent. So-called regular people are often the most successful influencers. Participating in meetings with lawyers, attending community conversations, and speaking to the media or testifying at a public hearing are all great ways for a well-prepared grassroots advocate to help fuel a campaign. A lot of people also don't know that their own stories can make a huge difference, no matter what their age is. Here's an example. In April of 2021, I had the opportunity to testify at a committee hearing in California on a bill that aimed to stop the sale of harmful weight loss supplements to youth like me. As a grassroots advocate, I used the materials and resources in the Stripe Advocacy Playbook shown on the screen to craft my testimony. Here's a clip of it.
Good afternoon, Chairperson Wood, Vice Chairperson Mays, and honorable members of the Committee of Health. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you today. My name is Kelsey and I'm a 16-year-old youth from Dimebag, California, where I currently attend Dimebag High School. I'm here today to share my story and to speak on behalf of the many youth across the state who, like me, strongly support Assembly Bill number 1341. As a teenager growing up today, I am no stranger to weight concerns and negative body image. As someone who developed an eating disorder at the age of 14 and who lives in a community where the majority of adolescents share my same experiences, it's safe to say I know the extent of what kids today will do for an idolized body. It is terrifying for me now looking back at what I was able to do at 14 and what so many of my peers are able to do now to cope with the intense pressure to lose weight, to be thin at any cost. If I feel badly about my appearance and I'm looking for a quick fix to my problems, I have 24/7 access to hundreds of products and supplements that I can easily buy with no legal restrictions whatsoever and just a click of a button on my phone. Even more convenient, in just a 5-minute walk to my local CVS, I can easily purchase diet pills and weight loss supplements to use on my own discretion. No store clerk or pharmacist would have the right to stop me, and my parents would never know unless I told them. These weight loss supplement and diet pill companies know that teenagers are their best customers. If they can get us hooked on their products, they will have a guaranteed market for years to come. They deliberately exploit our low self-confidence and body image struggles, making impossible promises that vulnerable teens can't help but to believe. On a daily basis, I'm bombarded with ads on social media, luring me to buy the latest weight loss supplements and diet pills, trying to get me to trade my health for a supposed better body. Popular social media influencers whose audiences are teenagers like me are routinely targeted by diet pill and weight loss supplement companies to advertise their products specifically to us. If Bill number 1341 is passed, it will limit the widespread availability of harmful weight loss supplement and diet pills to me and my friends. I, along with hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of young people like me in California, will be much safer with stronger protection against dangerous weight loss supplements and diet pills. So I urge you all, as caring parents, grandparents, relatives, and as dedicated leaders for our state, vote to support Assembly Bill number 1341. The children of California are depending on you. Thank you all for your time and leadership on this important issue.
The media can play an important role in spreading dangerous messages about food, weight, and shape, but it can also help us to spread awareness of campaigns that promote body confidence. Despite attempts to discredit science for political reasons, your expertise as a body confidence advocate is still influential and can be amplified through media advocacy. At Stripe, for example, we use our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook platforms to promote positive messages about our advocacy campaign. For example, take a look at our Instagram feed, where you'll be able to find updates regarding the progress of enacting legislation and hearings, along with posts about eating disorders and mental health awareness, various events, and coverage of our team at Striped. The Striped Advocacy Playbook features many resources that can help you in your media advocacy efforts. Good media advocacy can be fun, provocative, and emotional. It can feature stories of young people who have struggled with eating disorders, student athletes made ill because of poorly regulated muscle-building supplements, and personal profiles that take a hard look at the ways media and digital distortion contribute to depression, anxiety, and other mental health problems. Here is an example of a brief call to action video that was made to support a legislative campaign in Massachusetts.
I grew up severely affected by the media. All I saw from the minute I first turned on a television were, Disney princesses with waists that were this big, and all of the girls who were seen as beautiful throughout the 90s were always emaciated.
My eating disorder started with restricting and using diet pills.
I took all of the diet and detox products.
They were easy to buy, no one knew I was taking them, and they seemed harmless.
I stand here before you having survived 2 decades of body dysmorphia, anorexia, kidney problems, liver problems, digestive issues, fragile bones, damaged fertility, and a weak heart for someone so young. I will never, ever get my health back.
The American Academy of Pediatrics has come out against these, saying children should not be using these products. We need lawmakers to step up and make this happen.
Hi, my name is Stanley, and I am part of the Strategic Training Initiative for the Prevention of Eating Disorders. The final piece of the Power Prism that we'll cover involves decision maker advocacy. The Power Prism uses a tool called Pathways of Influence, which walks you through the step-by-step process of advocating with decision makers in your region. When it comes to advocating with decision makers, whether they're lawmakers themselves or their staff, you have to do your homework. Lawmakers who chair a committee that your bill may be assigned to, or someone who holds a legislative leadership position, have a powerful role in your campaign. These key decision makers have the ability to support and accelerate bills or stop them altogether. Walking into a lawmaker's office without having done your homework on who they are and what they care about is a lost opportunity to make meaningful impact. Here are some images from an advocacy day organized by Stripe in 2019 at the Massachusetts State Capitol. A group of researchers from Stripe joined community advocates in meeting with decision makers on advocacy. Before meeting with decision makers, these advocates mapped out pathways of influence for their bills, and then used the information to develop an outreach plan that led to this day of advocacy. Remember, you don't need to have years of advocacy experience to make a change. You just need to do your homework.
As you've seen today, the Strike Advocacy Playbook can help you to advocate for policies that can prevent eating disorders and promote body confidence, no matter your age or experience in advocacy. Effective advocacy takes practice, but it's worth the effort. The tools in the playbook may not work the same way for every person in every country, but may be adapted for use based on your setting. We hope that you're feeling inspired after today's webinar. If you feel motivated to get involved in advocating for policies that promote body confidence, please visit the link on the screen to get started with the Strike Advocacy Playbook. We're all in this together, so please reach out with comments, questions, and suggestions at the email address on the screen. Thank you for your time.